For about 2 decades, 3 in 10 Americans reported that they were very happy. Unfortunately, in 2020, these rates hit their historical lows of 14%. So why are we so unhappy, and how am I solving it for myself in the next year? I'm gonna discuss today. One of the main reasons that we are unhappy is that there are negative events that happen in our lives, the external stimuli that is negative, and our reaction to these negative events. Some statistics say that anger, stress, worry, and sadness reached their highest rates in 2021. So I believe we can work here in 2 ways. We can eliminate the negative stimuli, the negative events that make us unhappy, and we can work on our reaction to those stimuli. These are the 2 categories of lifestyle shifts that I'm going to make the next year, and I just want to share them with you so that you might get inspired and also try to stay happy the next year or become happier. So the first category is manage the cause of your unhappiness. The first thing that I'm not going to do the next year is I'm not going to read news. When the war in Ukraine started, I actually was checking this news like crazy. I was spending 7 hours a day reading the newsfeed, different journals, everything that is out there, because I decided that I had to stay aware of these things. And you know what? I don't have to know every single event that's happening in the world, and because of that I'm not becoming uneducated or indifferent. Let's have a look at what value these things like negative events or news bring to our lives, and what value we can give to those situations that happen out there. I realized that if I'm not an owner of a giant multi-billion charity organization, there's no point for me in knowing all these informations about the hunger or wars that are happening in the world. I think if something really big happens, you will anyway know about that, because either your friends or your family or your colleagues or just something comes up in the media and you will find out about very important events. Besides that, I would recommend to unsubscribe from any subscriptions to newspapers like The Guardian, The New Yorker, the whatever the hell it is. Just stop consuming what doesn't bring value to your life, because if you track your feelings along reading the negative news, you will find out that you will only receive stress and anxiety from reading that. A good alternative will be to subscribe to my newsletter that contains a lot of stuff and interesting tips about mindfulness, minimalism. You can subscribe to it very easily by the link in the description, and every week you will receive a short, inspiring read to your inbox that contains no negativity, only educational, entertainment stuff. The second thing I'm not doing the next year is I'm not going to think negatively about my work or about any activities I have to do. So some people say find your passion and do only what you like. Some people say you will have to do what you hate anyway, so just deal with it. I think that you will have to do things that you don't enjoy anyway. At least we all have to do taxes, right? So instead of like finding your passion, doing what you like only, or instead of struggling every time you have to do an activity you hate, you better find a way to enjoy doing something that you are not a fan of. So I'm going to stop to think like, oh no, I have to wake up at 8 o'clock and start doing this thing that I hate. It's gonna be a bummer. No, this is not a part of my narrative anymore. Instead of that, I will stop the moment I think it, and I will think instead, oh, I have to do a thing that I'm not a fan of the next morning, so maybe I can make a cup of tasty cocoa to drink along with it, or maybe I can make an order in my desk to make it look good for me to enjoy this thing more. Or maybe I could wear a gorgeous outfit for this day to enjoy myself more and therefore enjoy what I do more. So instead of, well, hating what you do, find a way to entertain yourself, to gamificate this process, to enjoy the process. Number 3 in managing the cause of my unhappiness is to just eliminate the things that I hate from my life if they are unnecessary. Of course, we will all have to do stuff that we don't like, but we still have to do. But I want to just stop for a moment before taking up a new hobby or a new task and ask myself, will this make sense in my future? Does this bring me value? Is it really necessary to do that? Can I delegate it? And if an activity that I want to take up, a holiday tradition, going out, a conference, a movie, do not give me anything, so I don't have to say yes to them. An easy example, holiday and preparation for holiday. I know that despite the fact that it's supposed to be a very inspiring period of our lives, right? December, holidays, we still tend to sometimes stress out because of all the holiday preparation we have to do. So just a reminder, you don't have to. You can say no. You can not decorate your house. You can not prepare this 12-course meal and you'll be fine, I promise. Your mental health is the most important, and if you are unhappy, who around you will be happy? I guess nobody. If you're enjoying this video so far, please hit the like button. It will mean the world to me and it will help to spread these ideas further in YouTube. So we've come to the second category, which is managing our reaction to the stress stimuli around. I've now become a sleep nerd. I know a lot about sleep. I even started to prepare my sleep marathon this month, so I'm very excited about sleep itself and its effects on our lives. So I cannot not share this idea of taking care of your sleep hygiene. Why is this important? The studies show that sleep can affect your amygdala, which is a part of the brain that is responsible for some harsh emotions like anger and really sad and devastated emotions, And it is becoming bigger if you have a lack of sleep. This means that you can make unreasonable decisions because you are driven more by your emotions. Moreover, studies show that the lack of sleep increases the hormone cortisol in your body, which is the hormone of stress. So if you want to stress out less, just sleep well and take care of your sleep hygiene. The most important thing that you can do is to use dim light 2 hours before sleep, is go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day, even on the weekends. Also, it's not recommended to use electronics 1 hour before bed, and don't drink alcohol before bed because it disrupts your REM sleep that is responsible for emotional process. And let's finish with lowering the body temperature before sleep by taking a shower or lowering the temperature of the whole room, and this will help a lot to sleep better, to get enough sleep, to have a higher sleep efficiency, and to be less stressed out overall. The second thing in managing my reaction to negative events would be spending less time in the digital world. So the next year, I'm not living in the digital world. Did you know that an average person spends about 4 hours a day in apps and in the phones? I decided for myself to try to eliminate my time spent in digital world. First of all, I will stop using my phone on the toilet. I don't know if you can relate, but this is my problem. I just read while I poop. And I will stop using my phone when I go out with my friends or my husband. And the third thing I'm gonna do is to stop again using my phone before bed and right after I wake up, at least for an hour. And I think it will make huge difference in my life because I have like the huge screen time. Yeah, part of that is working, but still, I don't want to find myself spending 2 hours in TikTok again and again. And I hope the next year it will change. The third and the last thing I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna focus on the negative. And there are two things connected to it. I try to consciously and mindfully track my thoughts during the day. I realized that I think more about, anxiety, stress, and this is the vocabulary that is almost always in my mind because I think about how I reduce stress, how I manage anxiety. All this vocabulary does not affect positively my brain. Just having all these thoughts and all these words like anger or fear in my mind, I feel like brings me only more of these words in my life. You know what I mean? So I just want to change the vocabulary a little bit of my thoughts and focus on, things that bring me happy. I want to consciously acknowledge that, oh, this coffee, it's so delicious, it makes me happy. I want to use more of the positive vocabulary in my thoughts, and I believe this is also changing the way I perceive the world, and it helps me finding more good things than bad things around me. So if you can relate to this, try to incorporate more of such words as kindness, happiness, love, calm, peace in your thoughts and in your vocabulary, and I think it can lean you towards just finding those things in your life and acknowledging them. So I believe that the result is where the focus is. So if I focus this year on becoming happier and doing the little things that make me happy, it can work out and I can maintain this state of satisfaction of life during the next year. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter. Also, I share a lot of these things as well on my Instagram page. I really recommend you to check it out. If you would like to support my channel, I will also link the Patreon page in the description below. Right after watching this video, you can go ahead and check the previous one, which is about the cheap purchases that, again, improve my life and make myself happier. So it will be somewhere here or maybe here. I will decide later. And have the most wonderful day. Goodbye.